Amazon acquired Junglee.com way back in 1998. But what's different about Junglee.com is that it provides a marketplace-like model where sellers can come, list and showcase their products while also driving traffic to its website. So unlike sites like Flipkart.com, users cannot directly buy from Junglee.com. But the question is, why would established players want to join Junglee?
Amazon today, for example, is one of the leaders on cloud computing. So they have cloud servicing. So you have hosted services on Amazon and the Amazon platform there. They have a couple of checkout processes which are very popular there. So these are various services when and if they plan to introduce in India. I think the Indian companies are going to benefit from using these services.
For 23-year-old Rakesh Bhasin, buying online has turned into a habit. So whether it's buying groceries, ordering a book at a discounted rate, or getting the much-awaited smartphone, he does it all online.
I buy 5-6 times a week.
There are many others like Seher Motiwala who chooses to buy her airline tickets online to avoid those massive airport queues. She even shops for limited edition apparel from virtual stores. According to market research firm Juxt, there are nearly 17 million people like Rakesh and Seher in India who regularly transact online. And this market is expected to grow at an impressive rate of 30%. Clearly, the Indian e-commerce industry is attracting a lot of vendors to its virtual reality.
The number of internet users, I'm sure you would have seen the recent reports coming out, are now touching almost 100 million. So from being a niche activity, which it was about 5 years ago, is becoming increasingly mainstream. It's no longer a scenario that you can say, I will focus on my offline distribution only or offline marketing only and not be available online.
Fueling this massive growth is broadband penetration, perhaps not as much as it should be, but 100 million online users is certainly not a small number. Aiding the growth of e-commerce is the rise in disposable incomes. Florists, Ferns Petals, which has 115 stores across cities in India, makes 32 to 35 crore through online sales. When it launched way back in 1994, the chain offered only bouquets, but now has also expanded to other gift items like perfumes, jewelry and corporate gifts.
There is an opportunity available today which is so easily just doing for a couple of clicks and spending 5 minutes. You don't have to walk out of your home, get into your car, go to a shopping mall, park your car at the basement, go up and shop, no more.
Providing the consumer a larger catalogue to choose from, or rather a discounted catalogue of brands that are unavailable in brick-and-mortar retail stores in India is another encouraging point for consumers buying online. Apparel, shoes, sports goods and even electronics that have no presence or limited presence in India are now easily available with customization. And it's not just buyers, retailers too are choosing e-commerce and the entire online experience over regular stores. For one, escalating real estate prices, but more importantly, the hassle of physically dragging consumers to another location simply to transact is something that most companies, large and small, are definitely rethinking. While that does not mean completely doing away with physical presence, it certainly is a movement towards it.
The physical infrastructure in the country today leaves a lot desired, right? There's a lot of improvement that can happen in that. There are about 16-17 million people who are the key transactors online. So for them, the internet experience is comparable with anywhere else in the world. That's what's driving the internet commerce.
E-commerce figures are encouraging. As per an Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India report, the industry is expected to increase to 70 billion by 2015 from the present 20 billion rupees, assuming that broadband availability becomes more common. And now take a look at just how many Indians are buying online. Online financial services based provider Karvi claims to make about 60,000 transactions on a daily basis, while eBay sells 6 products every minute. However, according to a report by the Internet and Mobile Association of India, e-commerce growth is primarily driven by the online travel industry, which contributes almost 76% to the total e-commerce pie high in India. That in fact is substantiated by Yatra.com, which has a whopping 2 million active users on the website. And if you thought e-commerce was just an urban Indian phenomenon, surprise, surprise. For Ferns and Petals, nearly 25% of revenues come from rural India. On the flip side, taxation, security issues and credit card frauds are acting as deterrents for the expanding e-commerce market.
Security of the transaction and transacting online is still a big issue with the customer, right? So in that mass market segment of the 100 million people who have access to internet, only about 15 to 20 million are transacting. So there is a huge headroom in that segment itself of customers who are online but not transacting online. And there you have this issue of trust, you have the other issue of credit cards, right? I think there is still limited awareness that debit cards are an as effective a means of transacting online as credit cards.
कुछ फॉल्टी निकला तो Flipkart.com पे no chance, और अगर हुआ भी तो.
But companies like Flipkart in India are focusing on removing precisely these bottlenecks. And the brand has tried to convey this in the television commercial released last year.
30-day replacement guarantee on all products. Flipkart.com, the online megastore.
Few retailers have already signed to be a part of Junglee.com, and there will be many more to come, except of course Flipkart and eBay, which have their obvious reasons to stay away. But all this while, all the eyes will be on Junglee.com to see actually how many people are shopping online. I'm really tempted by the cool gadgets that Junglee.com has to offer. So I'll see you soon. In New Delhi, Sumita Karir for NTTV Profit.
Let's now take a look at some other ad news.
It was smooth surfing for FMCG companies until a slowdown turned the tide. And for an advertisement-dependent television and media business, it means very bad news. With most FMCG companies slashing their ad budgets for the last quarter, resulting in a sharp decline of almost 20% in FMCG ad spends.
Colgate Max Fresh में है हजारों अनोखे cooling crystals.
And the culprit, higher input costs and modest volume growth. While Colgate slashed its ad budget by 11%, Godrej invested a meager 1.7% more in December quarter, while Big Daddy HUL slashed its ad spend by 7% at 690 crores, which is 11.8% of its turnover.
Advertising and promotional spend will be commensurate to what our brands need in the market and commensurate with the competitive intensity.
At P&G, whether we make something, manage something.
And it's not just ad budgets that are being axed. World's largest advertiser, P&G, too, announced plans of laying off 1,600 jobs globally to cut overhead marketing costs and invest in digital media.
Each and every one of us at P&G has the potential to touch and improve more lives.
We've been seeing it since the last 3-4 months. Since October, you can see that the market has got tough.
The decrease in FMCG advertising spends is symptomatic of a larger slowdown in the FMCG space and is a great matter of concern not only for the FMCG players but also for the media and entertainment industry that derives 50% of its revenues from the FMCG players. The media players are only hoping that the big daddies of advertising get back to spending big bucks this year. In Mumbai, Shivani Desai for NDTV Profit.
Political advertising during the assembly elections and why ad agencies choose to stay away from political advertising. That's coming up next.